I'll be talking about querying Web3 data with the graph, right? Before we start, the reason we attend hackathons is to learn, but all upon that, we also attend hackathons to actually win prizes for sure, right? The money aspect. So the graph is giving out bounties. If you build a new subgraph, we give you $2,500. We have 3 prizes: 2,500, 1,700, and 800. For use of a new existing subgraph, you can get this kind of a price, and if you're building a substream which is not subgraphs, totally different, then this is the price that you can expect. So I will be giving a workshop on querying an existing subgraph. If you want to know details as to how do you build a new subgraph, then this is the particular workshop you should be looking into. This is the QR code for that. If you're building a new subgraph, then just scan this particular QR code. This is for building new subgraphs. I will be talking about querying existing subgraphs, all right? Yeah, go ahead as fast as you can. Let's move forward. As I told you, I'll be talking about how do you query existing new subgraphs. So first of all, we need to understand what is a subgraph. Subgraph is basically a tool to index blockchain data. And what do you mean by that? Is basically our favorite blockchains give us data like this, like you see on the upper side. And these wooden things are tools to get that unverified data, cluttered data into good forms that we can be used, right? A particular block on the blockchain looks like this. It has data from all the protocols of the world. It has data from MakerDAO, it has data from UMA, it has data from Uniswap. How do you get the data that you want, right? For that, you have to use a tool called Subgraph, which converts this particular cluttered block of a blockchain into something like this, which is queryable via databases, all right? So if you might know, you might have used Uniswap, and Uniswap has their own subgraph. Using the subgraph, they have extracted the information from the blockchain and given these kind of dashboards for you. What do you need to have a subgraph? You need a smart contract address of your subgraph. You need a smart contract address of your smart contract. You need a schema that you're looking to query, and some structure, some code, so that you can convert the blockchain data in the schema that you want. And the output is a GraphQL API. Again, you need a smart contract address, a schema design that you're looking for, and a structure, so that it can convert the cluttered data of the blockchain of your particular protocol into GraphQL APIs. Right? This is where the hub of blockchain subgraphs exist. Almost all the protocols in Web3, including Uniswap, Balancer, LivePeer, have a subgraph of their own. So basically, if you're trying to get information about Uniswap, if you're trying to get information about Balancer, if you're trying to get information about whoever you want, you get it from these explorers, the graph.com/explorer, and you can query the protocol that you would like. All right. What is the Graph Network? Initially in 2019, we launched the Graphs hosted service, which is a centralized SaaS hosted service in which you used to connect to GitHub and get your subgraphs deployed. But eventually in 2021, we launched the decentralized Graph Network, which is 250 plus indexers, 7 plus chains, and thousands of subgraphs to give you decentralized querying so that we can finish the Graph Network. And for this particular hackathon, if you're trying to win a prize, we would be judging you guys based on indexing the graph's decentralized network. If the subgraph does not exist on the network, approach our booth, let us know. If we'll let you know. If it does not, you can go for the hosted service. Otherwise, you have to query the Graph Network to build a good dashboard or your idea and work upon that. Steps to query the Graph Network: create an API key. You will first of all access the Explorer, sign up, create an API key, design a particular subgraph query, and then integrate it with your dApp or your React frontend wherever you're looking at. Let's do a practical of the same. All right. I go to the graph.com. Here, this is where you get all the information about all the subgraphs that have been deployed by different protocols. See, we have pool together, live peer, open, Audius, Dodo, Enzyme, all these. All right. If I want to create or if I want to query a particular subgraph, all I do is first of all, I'm signed in already. I sign in with my MetaMask, right? After that, I go to the Subgraph Studio and I create an API key over here. Create an API key. Let's name it ETHGlobal. Let's name it ETHGlobal, and my API key is created. This particular API key I can use to query the graph, different subgraphs that exist. For example, if I want to query, let's say live peer subgraph, I have to go on the Explorer, click on live peer subgraph over here, and then click on query. Here, I have to just design my query over here, the API key, and I'll be able to get the data from live peer blockchain. This is how the data looks like. We'll be going into depths of that. How do you query and stuff like that, how you create a particular GraphQL query. But this is how you first of all go to a particular subgraph, find out whichever protocol you're trying to index. Secondly, go to that particular subgraph, create a particular schema design that you're looking for, query that particular subgraph, and use the API key that I've just guided you to use. All right. So this is about it. How do you find the subgraph that you're trying to index? For example, if I go on the Graph Explorer, let's say go for the Arbitrum one. The graph network is deployed on mainnet and Arbitrum, and we are moving every subgraph from mainnet to Arbitrum. So like you should check on both the networks. There are 485 subgraphs on the Arbitrum network. So basically, if I want to actually query CryptoPunks, I will find at least 5 different variations of CryptoPunk subgraphs created. How do I know which is the most high quality subgraph that exists? For that, there are a few parameters you can check. First of all, if it is a Misari subgraph, you can find out all the Misari subgraphs on subgraphs.xyz. Let me just give you a link to that. All the subgraphs, these are pretty high quality subgraphs that Misari, the analytics company, have created themselves. They are one of the co-devs of the graph as well. So you can just go and check these subgraphs out. If you're trying to query something which is not in Misari subgraphs, then how do you check is basically you first of all go and check the documentation, the curation level of that particular subgraph, and also the comments of that particular subgraph. For example, if I go to these, I would want to pick this particular subgraph, for example. The reason behind that is, first of all, I know Jerry. And the other reason, the more crypto permissionless reason, is because this particular subgraph, if you see over here, has good documentation, right? If I go on the schema.graphql, that person has given good comments on these things. That makes me feel that the schema is very rich, and I can get the data I want for CryptoPunks that I would need for my dashboarding hack that I'm creating, right? Let's actually when you're querying a particular subgraph, not creating one, it's about the questions you ask, not the answers you get, right? So let's actually query this CryptoPunk subgraph to get 2 things. First of all, let's try to get the sales of first 10 CryptoPunks ever done, all right? I go here, I go on the playground for now. And here, if you can see over here, these are the schemas that Jerry created. I will just, drop these down. I don't want any of this. I'm looking for transfers actually. Where is transfers? Transfers, yeah, this is the transfers. And I'm looking for first 10, right? And in that, I'm looking for the CryptoPunk ID and the timestamp that they were done on, plus order by descending order. So the one which was done the first should be given to me first. See, here I'm able to get all the CryptoPunk IDs with when they were like first transferred by descending order, right? So I'm so easily able to get the schema over here, right? See what schema I'm looking for, and able to get the information that's required to create a very good dashboard that I was looking for. First query solved. The second one, the total value of all sales, the total supply, and the total number of sales on the CryptoPunks smart contract. How do I get this crazy information, the total sales and stuff like that? How do I get this? The first thing I do is I go on CryptoPunks again. I search contracts over here, and yeah, here it is: total supply, total demand, total sales, and total, this thing. I don't need transfers. I'll just not use it. And here you can see the total supply, the total demand, the total amount traded, which is a good amount, honestly. So this is how you can query a particular subgraph to create awesome dashboards. Again, just to reiterate and revise, here is the query button. I just use this particular query for my GraphQL queries that I'm looking at. All right, this is mostly about it. This is the particular workshop repo that you can look into, and this is all that I taught you. You can look into it. There are two interesting examples that I would be looking that I want to give you for this particular workshop session. Somebody known as David Mihal just looked into these particular subgraphs and created something very important for whole of the crypto industry that we all look into, the crypto fee info dashboard. This crypto fee info dashboard uses subgraphs of various protocols like Uniswap, Aave, GMX, Arbitrum, and gives you this information, right? And all of us have been using it. This is just a very small hack that all of us have used. So subgraphs can be very powerful. Subgraph dashboarding for one place solution can be very powerful. L2 beats, crypto fee info, the moneyprinter.info, all these dashboards have been created by querying subgraphs. So if you are creating a hackathon, I would highly encourage you to look into something like that of a use case and create a dashboard of your own. Just to rectify and tell you that I'm not lying, you can go over here on Uniswap and see that the source of this particular information is the graph.com itself, right? So this is one such idea that you can look into. Another idea is somebody created something called DApp Locker, right? DApp Locker is like Dune Analytics but using subgraphs. And this looks pretty cool. So if you are creating rather a project, a DApp itself, you want these analytics dashboards, you can actually just pick and choose one of these analytics dashboards yourself or create one using what they have created. All right. Just to summarize, use the graph network, query the subgraphs based on the protocol you're looking for, and thirdly, do some querying on the playground and then implement it on your dashboards. All right. That's most about it. One last example that I'm looking to give you is, of course, the graph loves AI, like Microsoft and Google, I think. And the graph also created a model to actually, instead of querying things by GraphQL and these nerdy tech behaviors, you can just write a query based on natural language, process it, and get the information that you're looking for different protocols. And for that, another core dev team of the graph, which is Semiotic, worked out on a detail and created something called Agent C, right? In this Agent C, what we'll be doing, what they have done is they have taken all the data from Uniswap subgraph, trained it on a model, and now I can just use natural query language processing to get the information that I want, right? Let's do something very interesting. For example, let me just type what is the what is the least traded pair on Uniswap? Swap. It takes time, but it gives you the results. People say blockchains are slow. AI is slower. So the least traded pair is ALUSD and ALETH. Anybody else wants to query something else interesting on Uniswap subgraphs? I can just do it right now. By the way, this is not whitelisted. If you want to use this particular product for your hackathon, come to our booth and we'll get you whitelisted to play around with Uniswap subgraphs. This is only for Uniswap protocol right now. We are expanding and going to more, but yeah, this is trained on substreams of Uniswap. Any interesting query, or are we good? Oh, go ahead.
Does it understand profitability? Would you ask what is the most profitable LP?
Well, we can see what is. If it doesn't, don't kill me. But the most profitable LP on Uniswap. Let's see. Can you deploy to Sepolia testnet? For sure you can. Yeah. Sepolia is the main testnet of Ethereum nowadays. The most profitable LP of Uniswap WETH USDC is the total profit. It gave you the total profit. So it is WETH and USDC in case. I'm not giving any financial advice, but AI can, I guess. It's not under, regulation. Awesome, thank you. If you have any further questions, do drop by the booth. This is my contact information. You can scan it and get all the information that's required.